I wanted to give you an update on what is coming up at the Nye County Commission meeting this Friday, November 15th. It's called the Pahrump Fairgrounds, and it's a little over 400 acres. And I'll put this up here so you can see where it is, just north of Mountain Falls there at 160. That's where it's going to be. So this has been kind of going on for a while now. It hasn't been top of mind for me because I've been running for this office, but they've been preparing it for at least a year, probably more, as far as preparation and getting this thing ready. Actually, I just saw here, it looks like it's a presentation. So it's not funding being voted on. It's just a presentation. But of course, there's the expectation of more funding. So the reason why the presentation is happening is to get more funding. So while it's not an actual funding vote on Friday, if there was no need for further funding, there would be no presentation. So just make that clear so you knew. What it is what I want to tell you about, and where it's going potentially is what you need to know. It could transform the entire town. It could change Pahrump. First, I want to share this with you. I saw this, and I'll tell you, it made me a little nervous. This is from the presentation of the county commission on the agenda. This is the thing they put up there, and they only have a few pages here, and this is the last page. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Martin Luther King. Which is a great quote if you're on your way to church on Sunday morning. Not so good when you're spending millions of dollars in taxpayer funding on something in the middle of your town. I don't have faith in my government, which is why I ran for commission. If I had faith in my government, I would not have run for commission. So telling us, hey, you don't have to know what we're going to do here, just take the first step, is not, to me, a good way to sell me, and probably not you if you're listening to this. So I will go over, and I'm going to try to be as objective as possible and as direct as possible, as always, what this is. So let me first tell you what it's purported to be. They want to put a rodeo arena in here, ball fields, exhibit areas, basketball courts, carnival grounds. You can see that all here. An amphitheater, which is kind of a strange weird word to use. My concern with this is all pretty obvious. And if you haven't thought about it, let me tell you what it is. We already have most of these things up by the Rudd Center, fairgrounds, carnival grounds, exhibit areas. And right now, it's being used by homeless people and drug addicts. So the concern I have is, if we're going to build another forum, another place for homeless people and drug addicts to show up, how do we guarantee it's not going to turn into another place for homeless people and drug addicts to go? Since we're not fixing the problem up by the Rudd Center, which is a top priority of mine, we're just kind of pouring gas on the fire. And that's just the immediate thing that just pops into my mind. And there's also something else here I don't really like, and it's multi-use buildings. I don't really know what that means. I don't like the wording initial concept here, especially when there are people who are running around town talking about how they need 40 acres for a homeless mega complex. Because this could be used for that, absolutely. So the one thing I'm absolutely sure about, is that we cannot be sure about any of this because it says initial concept. And this is a very strong implication that this concept could change. If this was it wouldn't be the initial concept. It would be the final draft, or it would be the final concept. So to say initial means that this is all subject to change. So we have 400 acres of government-owned land that could turn into whatever the government wants it to be. And that includes a homeless hangout, which is what the other fairground and the other complex and the other exhibit area and the other parks are used for. At least the one up by the Rudd Center. Now, as far as stopping something like this, it's hard to say. You could do it. There's no doubt in my mind that if you wanted to stop this, it would be stopped. I will oppose this unless there are certain things done to prevent it from being a place for homeless people to just show up and drug addicts to just hang out. Right now, we have Clark County that just passed a law in the county that says that homeless people can't hang out overnight. So a bunch of homeless people in Las Vegas want to know where to go overnight, and then here we are building a 400-acre community area where anyone can go legally and camp all night. I'm not opposed to the concept. We do need parks in this town. I am for places where children can play. I would like to see more fields. I know there's Little League and there's things that are underserved, and that's got to be fixed. It's not expensive to put up fields for kids to play in. So I have no problems with that, and I have no problems with using federal tax money to do that either. But my concern is it turns into just another Needle Park. So that's all I wanted to make you aware of. It's on the agenda for Friday. I will put, if you want to get updates, go to ianbayne.com, and I'll be updating, sending emails out about this and other things that are important going on in town so that you're not surprised by things. I will be coming up with very shortly things that I want to do. Of course, I haven't taken office yet, so I can't do that right now. And I won't take office until January 1st. So for now, just continue to get updates, and I will continue to keep you informed.